Welcome. Today's session we are going to start about international finance. May God bless everyone who appreciate me. May God bless everyone who share every video I work. So let us pray. My God who are in heaven, let everyone who view this video get many skills, more, and understand this course clearly. Let everyone have a knowledge to pass an exam, to pass assignment, to pass every test. Let my God bless every hand who try to share this video. In the name of Jesus, Amen. So, without going many things, let us start about introduction, because this is the first course. So, although we may be convinced of the importance of studying international finance, we still have to ask ourselves, what is the special about international finance? Put another way, how is international finance differ from purely domestic finance? If such things exist, that is the question. Here there are three major dimensions set international finance apart from domestic finance. That is a three dimension. The first dimension is the foreign exchange and political ethics. As you know, the foreign exchange is everywhere in a country. If you have American dollars, you want to convert it to Rwandan francs. If you have Ugandan shillings, you want to convert into Kenyan shillings. That's why international finance exists. Another is the political risk. Every country, they have their politics that follow. So that's why international finance exists. Another is the market imperfection. The market is so totally different. That's why international finance exists. Another is the expanded opportunity sets. Every country, they have opportunity they set, so that's why international finance exists. And that's why it's totally different with domestic. If you are working domestically, you're going to use the local currencies, not requiring to change. So, as we'll see, those major dimensions of international financial largely stem from the fact that sovereign international have the right and power to issue currency. As you know, every country, they have a right to issue the currency. They have to formulate the economic policies. They have to impose tax. As you know, in Rwanda, we use Rwanda Revenue Authority. In Uganda, you have Uganda Revenue Authority. So, and they have to regulate the movement of economic policies. They have to impose the taxes. And also the movement of people, they have to set it. They have goods and capital cross the border. Before we move on, let us briefly describe each of the key dimensions of international financial management. So, among the events that affect the firm and that must be managed are change in exchange rates, inflation rates, and asset value. And those events are often themselves related because of integration of financial markets. Events in distant land have effect that reverberate in other regions of the world. Domino effect, contagio like COVID, as you know, and systematic risk. So even companies with domestic forecasts are affected by global financial environment as they compete with the firms that are international active rates. Self-explanatory. Another thing is inflation, jobs, the economic growth rate, bonds and stock price, oil and food price, government revenue, and other important financial variables are tied of exchange rates and other developments in increasingly integrated financial market. For students in economy or business administration, understand international finance is a fundamental important. As you are students in business administration, to understand this international finance is a fundamental important. That's why you have to study international finance. Goals for international financial management. The first is to equip financial manager with a good understanding of international financial management concept and techniques necessary to be effective global manager. If you want to be a global manager, you have to understand this financial concept, which is used in international, and also if you study this, you will be equipped as financial manager or with a good understanding of international financial management and the concept. So the effective financial managers, however, is more than application of the new West business techniques or operating more effectively. They must be understanding goals. International financial management is written from the perspective that the fundamental goals of sound financial manager is shareholders' wealth maximization. Meaning this shareholders' wealth maximization means that the firm make all business decisions and investment with an eye toward making the owners of the firm, those shareholders, better off financially or more wealth than they were before. So if you study this, you will be effective financial management. You will understand shareholders' welfare maximization. If not, the business will fail. So you have to increasing the dividend for shares that bought by shareholders, and also you have to pay goods in positive manner. Another goal is a firm could pursue other goals, but this does not mean that the goal of shareholders' wealth maximization is merely alternative, or that the firm should enter into debate as appropriate fundamental goals. The contrary. If the firm seek to maximize shareholders' wealth, it will most likely simultaneously be accomplishing other legitimate goals that are pursuing as well. So let us still continue about the ones we are going to look at the goal for international financial management. Here they say that no matter what other goals, nitwitaye ku zindi ntego, they cannot be achieved in the long term, nubwo zitagerwaho mu gihe kizaza. If the maximization of shareholders' wealth is not given due consideration, iyo batabashe kwita kuri maximization of shareholders' wealth bitewe niba bagendeyeho kudatreating abakozi neza cyangwa kubatreatinga nabi, produce should mechanize, was raw material, operation effectively fail to satisfy customer, this cannot maximize shareholders' wealth. Only a well-managed business firm that profitable produce what is demanded in an efficient manner can expect to stay in the business in a long run and thereby providing employment opportunity. So here we are going to look about the globalization of world economy. Here there are major trends. When you say about globalization, meaning the process of integration among the countries and the world. There means you are going to integrate in a social of other country, in the political of other country, economy of other country, and even the culture and also technology. You are going to emerge the globalized financial market. You are going to emergence of the euro as global currencies, where they say it is beginning in 1999. World Trade Organization. Here we say about GATT. Another thing is the privatization, multinational corporation. For major trends, there are international investment, where 80% from developing countries are FDI, foreign direct investment. Economic growth potential, especially China and Asia in general, they're growing fast than most domestic economies. It is understandable. This is the growing fast than other domestic. So over one half of the world trade is accounted for by United States, European Union, and Japan. We are continuing about multinational globalization. In addition to international trade, foreign direct investment by multinational companies that are going to invest, meaning that they are going to take the investment and invest directly into domestic, is a major force driving globalization of the world's economy. Meaning that a multinational corporation is a business firm incorporated in one country that has production and sale operations in several other countries. The term suggests a firm obtaining raw material from one national market and financial capital from another, and producing goods with labor and capital equipment in a third country, and sell the finished product in a yet other national market. Meaning we have a company in the USA that produces things like HP machine is incorporated in USA and is gonna obtaining raw material from one national market, is going to obtaining material that are using in producing that HP machine. That an example is that machine, that raw materials from Congo, and also they take financial capital from another country. That financial capital, let us say, is from Kenya, and also they are going to produce goods with labor and capital equipment. They are going to use the machine and capital from another country, and also they selling the finished product after making that all and selling the finished product in the other national market. So multinational companies obtaining financing from major money center around the world in many different currencies to finance their operation. Global operation forced the Treasury Office to establish international banking relationship, press short-term funds in several currencies dominance, and effectively manage foreign exchange risk. If you are working globally, you are going to set this banking, international banking. You are going to use the several currencies, and also you are going to have foreign exchange. You are going to affect by foreign exchange risk. This graph is showing about investment opportunity, where for multinational investment they set opportunity, where an international firm they set a marginal cost of capital. When we say about the cost of capital, we shall look in more detail in the next session. Here for the line which is blue, it's showing that there is a multinational where they set opportunity. Here there is a cost of capital. When we say the cost of capital, there is a cost of using capital. Simply, if you borrow money from a bank, you are going to pay a money to use that. You are going to pay a cost. That is a cost of capital. That money you are going to pay is a cost of capital. If someone buys share in your company, you are going to pay amount of money to use that money buy a share. So they say that the value of farmers' investment is equal to the shaded area, this area which is shaded, between investment opportunity set and the farmer's cost of capital. It is self-explanatory. Let us go to this. The foreign-owned manufacturing company in the world's most highly developed country are generally more productive. Yes, it is understandable, and pay their work more than comparable locally owned business, according to Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So the funding underlying the increasing importance in the world economic of large company who is the base of scattered across the globe. The gross output per employee, a measure of productivity in most national, tends to be greater in multinational than local owned companies, the report say. That's the report how say the multinational production is more than locally owned company. This is part 3 factor of multinational being bigger than a geared to operation according to world-class level efficiency, but is also reflect the ability to transfer your thinking in production technology to international factor network. Multinational companies may gain from their group presence in a variety of ways. First, multinational companies can benefit from economies of scale. Exactly. Where there is a spread of research and development expenditure and advertising costs over their group sales. The second is pulling group purchasing power over the suppliers. The third is utilizing the technology and managerial know-how global with minimum additional cost and so on. Furthermore, multinational companies can use their global presence to take advantage of underpriced labor services available in certain developing countries and gain access to special research and development and capital residing at different foreign countries. Multinational companies can indeed leverage their global presence to boost their profit margin and create shareholders value. Let us go about financial system. When you say about financial system, it is a collection of market, institution, law, regulation, technique through with the bonds, stock, and other securities are traded. Interests are determined, and financial services are produced and delivered around the world. Here they say that financial system, as usual as we have studied, is composed by 4 categories. It is the financial market, financial institution, financial services, and financial security. The primary task of financial system is to move scarce loanable funds from those who save those who borrow to buy goods and services and make investment in the new equipment and facility, so that the global economy can grow and the standard of living can increase. Here it is self-explanatory, meaning that the financial system, the activities and the primary task is to move the scarce, the loanable funds. Meaning that if you don't have money, you are going to go to a financial institution and take money that is saved by someone who was saving money for that institution. Let us continue about follows within the global economy system. How the financial follows. The basic function of economic system is to allocate scarce resources like land, labor, managerial skills, and capital to produce goods and services needed by society. The global economy generates flow of production in return for flow of payments. The circular flow of production and income is independent and never ending. Here we have resources for someone. Here there is a farm that producing goods and services. So that man need land to produce and need a labor to work in the company. Is gonna pay amount of money for labor or managerial skills, and that man come and produce goods and services. For those who supply this, is gonna pay goods and services. That's how money is followed. As you see about this and this flow of expenditure of consumption, taxi, flow of production of goods and services. That's how money is followed and incomes follow. So let us stop here. For the next session we shall look about the role of market in a global economy system. So thank you for today. May God bless everyone. May God bless everyone who turn on Apatech TV, and let's share for others in order to know many things. May God bless you, and remember to subscribe if you are the first time for Apatech TV. Thank you. Hello ladies and gentlemen. In today's session we are going to proceed in international finance course, where we are going to continue about the role of market in a global economic system. In most economies around the world, markets carries out the complex task of allocating resources and producing goods and services. The marketplace determines what goods and services will be produced and in what quantities through their prices. Markets also distribute income by rewarding superior producer with increased profit, higher wages, and other economic benefits. I hope this is understandable. In the most economy around the world, the market carries the complex task by allocating resources and also by producing goods and services. Yeah, it is normally. When you come about these types of market, here there are three markets we are going to learn this. The first market is a fact market. The second is financial market. The third is a product market. When you go into deeply in this, when they say the fact markets, here this is where there is allocation of factors production to their owners of the productive resources, meaning that you have a land that is the factors production. You have money, so that is a factors production. Yeah, if you have that, you are the owner of that productive resources. So the farm, it's require that land to be used in order to produce goods and services, and that who have land is gonna to request or to need the product that come from that land, meaning that the product market for the second, the consuming unit are most of their own income from the fact market to produce goods and services in the product market, meaning that they get money from the fact market in order to consume the goods and services. For the third is the financial market channel, serving to those individuals and the institution needing more funds for spending than product provided by their current income, meaning that for this diagram, it is saying that the consuming unit it is mainly the householder, the families, and also they have producing units. They are like business, farms, and government. Here, when you come into deeply one by one, they are saying that in a factory market, if you have a farm, you are gonna to need the resources, so you are going to pay the consuming units that have the productive resources amount of money, and also that householder, they get the income. So that is what we call in this, where they saying that there is a flow of income in buying the factor of production, and that people housing consuming unity, they get the income, and also this they give them the productive services like a land, like a labor, to this productive producing unit. For this product market, as you see, for product market, the consuming unit, they are going to request a goods from producing units, and they gonna pay them and in order to get that goods and services, meaning that the consuming unit is gonna to pay goods and services, and also they get the production from producing unit. Here we have for financial market. In financial market, where they are saying that the flow of funds saving, where the flow of financial services, income, and financial crimes, meaning that that householder, they are going to get money. They can come here to save their money. Here there is a producing unit. They can get that money at a financial institution and use that money in order to produce more goods. So after that, they gonna pay interest to the financial institution, and this financial institution, they can also pay the interest for saving for the consuming units. That is the types of market. Here we are proceeding about the financial market, where we are looking about the financial market to make possible the exchange of current income for future income, meaning that you have the current income, you are going to save it at the bank. After that, for that saving is going to be that saving can be transformed into investment. Here, that is so that the production and employment and income can grow. The suppliers of funds to the financial system can expect not only to recover their original funds, but also to earn additional income as reward for waiting for assuming risk. So that is what they call the financial market. Here there is a demander of funds. They mainly like business, firms, and governments. They also always they need the money. So they are suppliers of funds. It means they householder, they are going to save their money at the bank. Here there is a flow of runnable funds. Is loanable funds, loanable funds, which is saving, and there is a flow of services, income, and a financial crime. Here this diagram shows the global financial system, where they say that in a global financial system we have different things. In this middle, we look here in a financial system, we have currencies, we have exchange rate, we have commercial banks, we have financial market. And this that's the work at global. We have the central banks, we have government treasury, we have supervisory authority, we have accounting standard boards that regulate the accounting to be used, like IAC's International Accounting Standards to be used. We have multinational enterprise, we have institutional investors, we have rating agencies that can rate like bonds and like shares. We have like sovereignty funds, we have investment bank, we have an international financial institution. That is what including in the financial system at globally. When we come about to the role of IMF, a lot of international monetary funds. Here, the role of international monetary funds, it's including it maintains the exchange rate, disciplinary and flexibility, where they are allowed to turn devaluation and more with IMF approvals. This IMF, it's have members of 187 members. So the role of the World Bank, we have EBRD, World Bank law, so that is the core international Bank for Reconciliation and Development. So the purpose of this is to refinance the post World War II reconstruction and development. This was stated to finance that and provide a low interest long-term loan for developing economies. Another law for World Bank, it is for International Development Agency, meaning in simple words it is IDA, an arms of the bank created in 1960. The purpose was to raise the funds from the member states, loans only to the poorest country, 15 years repayments at 1% per year interest. This is the law of World Bank. When we come back to the BOP, balance of payment program, is an accounting records of a country contrast trade in goods and services and financial assets with the rest of the world during the particular time period, year or quarterly. Meaning that here in the balance of payment problem we are going to deal with the export and import. So the components of balance of payment, that is the current account, capital account, and the financial account and reserve account. There are four components of balance of payment, which is the current account, capital account, financial account, and reserve. When you come back to the current account, including the value of trades in mechanized services, income from investment, and the unilateral transfer. When you say the mechanized in the tangible goods, for services including travel and tourism, loyalty, transport costs, and insurance. When you go to the income from investment, we have interest and dividends. When you come to an unilateral transfer, it's including the foreign aid, gift, and the retirement pension. The current account is a type of dominated by the first component described to the export and import of merchandise. For this reason, the balance of trade, which is a word recorded in a business price in most countries, refers to the balance of export and import of goods trade only. Here we take goods export minus good import, which is equal to goods trade balance. When you come to the trade, the services trade balance, you take services traded credit minus services traded debit. You get the services trade balance. When you come to the income, you take income receipt minus income payment, you get income balance. And also when you come to the current transfer credit minus the current transfer debit, you get net transfer. So current account balance equal to goods traded balance plus services traded balance plus income balance plus net transfer. That is how to calculate the current account balance. So remember to subscribe. See the next topic, where we are going to look about the capital account, financial account, and reserve account. Remember to subscribe, and also we shall do a calculation in this question. So my God bless you. Subscribe for Abatech TV.